Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's turn down the music and let's get ready. It is NBA Tuesday on the Amazing Grace Sports Network, and I am here once again, Clay Morris, living, breathing person right here in front of you, not dodging the camera. Let's make sure we have everything just centered correctly. That's correct. There we go. I'm ready for my close-up. Is that a Gloria Steinem thing? I forget. No. That's Gloria Swanson. Gloria Swanson. Good morning, America. Once again, it is February 21st, 2023. We should say the 2023rd year of our Lord Jesus Christ on Amazing Grace Sports Network. And I will tell you what's up. What's up? It's Jason Tatum. And this is kind of a takeoff on what I did yesterday on the Monday Morning Review. Jason Tatum is what's up. That's right, Jason Tatum. That's why I started off with this picture there. Mr. Jason Tatum of the NBA's Boston Celtics. It's only 24. And now he holds the record for the most points scored in the All-Star game. Now, Jason Tatum doesn't get all that notoriety because he plays in Boston, which is like playing in Miami, which is like playing in Kansas City. It's not New York or LA. But he is the man. And also, there's another guy named Giannis. This guy. He plays in Milwaukee. He's the man in the NBA, too. Now, was the first pick of Giannis's in the NBA's All-Star game. Giannis was a captain. I'm not sure why. But maybe he was the top vote getter. And LeBron was the captain over in the West. I don't know why. Maybe he was the top vote getter. Okay. And so they had to pick these squads. And LeBron James picked first. And he chose Joel Embiid. And I'm not even going to show a picture of him. I love Joel. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if he should play in the game because he's hurt physically and he needs some time off. But LeBron James chose Joel Embiid. Very good choice, but no Jason Tatum. But Giannis. Now, Giannis doesn't get a lot of credit. I'm going to go through this. Giannis chose Jason Tatum as his number one pick, starter. Now, I'm going to tell you what this means. This means, well, right off the bat, it shows that Giannis is a smarter GM when it comes to personnel and personnel acumen than LeBron James. Now, you may very well think that that's not true. But, LeBron hooked up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade before he discarded them and left them. Yeah. But no. He kind of just, maneuvered it. But when it comes to making GM trends, the only good thing that James has done is when he brought Anthony Davis to LA. And I'm not sure Anthony Davis is satisfied with where he's at in LA now because he's second fiddle no matter what he does, even though he is the top dog. Without him, nothing happens in LA. Meanwhile, Mr. No Defense playing LeBron James gets all the credit whenever they win and whenever the Los Angeles Fakers lose. Well, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and everybody else, Pat Beverly, they get all the blame. Well, now that I said that, what I said is that Giannis is a very good GM. But let's approach it from another angle. You see, Giannis is the best player in the NBA. Face it. Yeah, face it, guys. Face it, all you Ja Morant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic lovers. Giannis, a.k.a. Zeus, the Greek god, is the most dominant player in the NBA today. Let's just say this, okay? He can't be stopped. Anyway, we have a saying, and the saying is that game recognizes game. And we could apply this to LeBron James picking Joel Embiid, but we won't because it really applies to Giannis picking Jason Tatum. What that means is that the best recognizes the best. Zeus is the NBA's most dominant player offensively and defensively combined in the NBA. The second most dominant player is Jason Tatum. Giannis is the most dominant because he is physically more imposing and physically the most imposing player in the NBA. He is bigger, stronger, faster, and taller than 99% of the NBA. Jason Tatum is the most offensively skilled player in the NBA who can and will play defense. Giannis is not as offensively skilled as Tatum, but he could be if the NBA didn't allow him to thrive by running over people. To put it bluntly, Antetokounmpo would be lucky to stay on the floor for a whole game, much less score 20 points if they ever cut that out, because 90% of Zeus's points are drives to the basket, done either by driving around defenders or, in most cases, driving through them. Now, the NBA, always in search of making a star, made one out of Giannis. And it's not to say that he isn't a great player, but as usual, they took it too far. They enabled him to be one-dimensional in order to cash in on him as soon as possible. You see, by allowing Zeus to just run over people without ever getting called for the obvious offensive foul, Giannis has not had to develop his offensive game. He is barely better than when he started 9 years ago, meaning now he can make a 12-foot shot, but only if no one is guarding him. Would he ever be as good offensively as Tatum? Well, that would be a hot stretch, but let's put it this way. As we see, Antetokounmpo is very smart, and he would get a lot better offensively if they took that easy running over people, whatever we want to call it, type of offense away. Now, offensively, let's just face it. Offensively, Jason Tatum is a one-of-a-kind, must-see TV type of player. He's a big guy, but he can shoot from anywhere on the court. I think he's about 6'8", 6'9", maybe even 6'10". But he can shoot it from anywhere on the court, as he showed on Sunday. He has great handle. He dribbles as good, if not better, than most guards in the league. He can drive the ball to the hoop with power and with speed, and he can finish at the rim in dozens of ways. So if we're talking about the NBA's, as far as complete players go, you can call Giannis 1A and Tatum 1B. So let's examine how Jason Tatum responded to Giannis making him his #1 pick. Well, he responded by going off for the NBA All-Star record of 55 points. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans everywhere. 55 points. Tatum scored 27 of his 55 points in the third quarter to lead Team Giannis to a 184-177 win. He only missed 9 shots the whole game, going 22 for 31. And he was shooting the ball from outside. Not like when Anthony Davis scored his, where he scored most of his points on layups and dunks. Jason Tatum was bombing. You can ask Joel Embiid about that, because he got 2 of those facials in each corner. That's right, one from the right side and one from the left side. Tatum put it on him. Now, 10 of his points, 10 of them were 3-pointers. He had 10 3-pointers, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Tatum's 55 beats out the 52 set by Anthony Davis, who was then of the New Orleans Pelicans, and now he is with the Los Angeles Lakers. Said Tatum, I found out midway through the fourth about the record. I think I had like 49, and Dame, he's talking about Damian Lillard, was like, yo, the record's 52. He was like, go get it. So, as we can see, Jason Tatum went out and got it. Now, this kid's only 24. And he has a teammate, who's 25, by the name of Jaylen Brown. And I think I have a little something on there. Yeah, they are. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was the other bright spot in the All-Star game. Despite not being a starter, Brown led all the scorers for Team LeBron with 35 points. These 2 plays put on the show, and Tatum and Brown actually dominated the event. 2 Celtics dominated the event. Well, Bill Russell would be proud. Casey Jones would be proud. Sam Jones would be proud. Tommy Heisen would be proud. Bob Cousy would be proud. two Celtics dominating the All-Star game. Well, they went mano a mano. What's that? Hand to hand, person to person in the third quarter. And they put on the show. But where was Zeus in all this? Where was Giannis? Well, like I said, Giannis is a lot smarter than anybody's giving him credit for. He's a mean guy. He's a tough guy, but he's pretty smart. Because, see, Giannis scored the first points of the game. A basket. He scored a basket, and then after that, he took himself out the game. That was it. Took himself out. Antetokounmpo checked himself out of the game to rest his injured right wrist. Why? Well, let's be serious. All of Milwaukee's hopes for the season depend. Giannis knows there is no need to risk his wrist, whatever damage, and this some ligament damage we found out today, any further in a meaningless game. That's right. It's a meaningless game. Even though Tatum scored 56 points, he could have rested and been even more fresh for the push to the playoffs. But Giannis made sure that he didn't. He picked him and then put him out on the floor while he sat on the bench and rested. Giannis, well, you are pretty good. Donovan Mitchell made his presence felt. He had 40 points. Now, let's move on. There were no games played last night. There was a game that was played Sunday, and then, of course, there was no games played on Monday. So there's no games to report to you today. But let's talk about a couple of things. Mr. Russell Westbrook. I've also called him Russell Westbrook. And Mr. Westbrook, you can call me. You can text me. You can email me. My email is right there on the website. You were recently traded to the Utah Jazz by LeBron James. Now, from what I hear, Mr. Westbrook bought out his contract with the Jazz, and he plans to sign with the LA Clippers. And I don't feel anything about this. I wish the best for Russell Westbrook and the Clippers. Does it make sense for him to do this? Well, yes and no. It makes sense for Westbrook. Yeah. See, Westbrook is an LA native. That's where he grew up, and he went to school, I think, in LA and went to college in California. And he's already set up house. His family's out there in LA. So to be back in LA makes nothing but all the sense in the world for Russell Westbrook. Doesn't make sense for the Clippers. What do you guys think? In the short run, yes. In the long run, no. Because unless Kawhi Leonard is healthy enough to make his presence felt in the playoffs, this move is moot. Leonard is the closer. Make no mistake about it. He is the closer on that team. Deservedly so. He's proven to be the closer on every team that he's been with. He's the guy in the clutch. And without a guy in the clutch, it's going to be hard to go far in the playoffs. He's the lead dog, if you will. But Leonard has not been that for 2 years plus now. And that window may be gone. Maybe, maybe not. But we shall see. If Kawhi is not that guy anymore, the Clippers will win more than they will lose over the remainder of the season. But they will get bounced in the playoffs. If he is that guy, well, Clips are the dark horse that could take over the West. And I mean that. Now, Pat Beverly. Pat Beverly was recently booted out of LA by LeBron, another one of his cast-offs. And he ended up in Chicago. And I read somewhere that Chicago supposedly was making this move and terming Beverly's addition as a push for the playoffs. Push for the playoffs? Who's kidding who? Okay, I'm not fooled. Chicago just put some perfume on a rotten corpse. The Bulls ain't built for the playoffs. And Patrick Beverly ain't going to change that. DeMar DeRozan is playing injured. Zach LaVine is a volume shooter who doesn't play defense. Lonzo Ball is out for the year. Nikola Vucevic is the only reliable commodity on that team. That being said, this is not a playoff team. It can't be. Poor Chicago fans. I know they're telling you this, they're trying to make a run for the playoffs, Chicago fans, but that's just salad dressing on grass to tell you it's really a salad. It's not a salad. And I don't care how much salad dressing you put on it, which is salad dressing is what they're saying. It's not going to make it a salad with lettuce and onions and avocado, whatever else you put on your salad. Carrots. Yeah, carrots are my favorite. So, poor Chicago fans. You have some of the cheapest, unmotivated, unreliable professional franchises in the States and in the history of the United States and professional sports world. The Bulls are bad. They've only won 6 championships. They only won it with Michael Jordan. They were lucky to get him, and they picked him. They wanted to get him cheap. They got him cheap for a period of time. And they've always wanted to get players for cheap. That would be the Bulls. Okay? 6 championships, and I think they've been in the NBA since 1948. So we're going on 60-something years. Some, give or take a couple of years. Yeah, the Bulls are bad. And the Bears are even worse. I think they have 1 Super Bowl. Maybe let's just give them 2. I'll give them 2, but I only can remember 1. And that was in the 86, I believe. 85, 86, Bears. It's been 40 years since then, and then it was 20 years before that, and what was it? NFC Championships, the NHL. Yeah, when they were the total NFL. There was no AFL, NFL, just the NFL. I don't think they won too many championships then, but okay. I think they've been around for 100 years, and maybe they've won 1 Super Bowl, maybe 2, and a handful of NFL championships. And if you think they're bad, the baseball teams are, well, abysmal. There are 6 World Series wins in 120 years between the 2 of them. They've had 2 baseball teams since, I think, let's just say 1900. Since 1900, they've had 2 baseball teams, and they won 6 World Series. I'm not even going to do the math on it. I think each one of them has won 3 apiece. 3 apiece in over 120-something odd years. But what I'm trying to say is Pat Beverly isn't going to change any of that. Any of that. Not the history and anything that has to do with the Bulls. There's still a unreliable, cheap, unreliable, unmotivated franchise when it comes to winning. They try to get all of their picks through the draft so they can pay their rookies cheap, hold on to them as long as they want, like they did Larry Markkinen, and then when they're up to get a raise and be paid, trade them away. That's why Larry Markkinen is in Utah. That's right. Now, let's move on. Still with the NBA and in the Eastern Conference, let's talk about the new look Brooklyn Nets. I was about to call them the New Jersey Nets, and then I was about to say the New York Nets, but no. Let's just call them the Brooklyn Nets, which is what they are. Okay? Are they contenders? Now, let's see. 2-3 years ago, they had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. And then James Harden left shift, and they got in Ben Simmons. And people still said they were a playoff contender, a contender in the East, and they're going to, and new and upcoming, new and reigning defending. No, they never made that defending championship thing. Are they contenders? Let's see. They received Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and Jay Crowder in the Kevin Durant trade. Now they've already traded Jay Crowder away for some more draft picks. So they have Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. And in the Kyrie Irving, with the Kyrie Irving trade, they acquired Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie for the 5th time, and a bunch of first and second round draft picks. So they're loaded in first round draft picks and second round draft picks. But they really have 4 players. Now, with those 4 players, are they contenders this season? The answer is no. No. Not with the Miami Heat, Philadelphia, Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, and the Milwaukee Bucks. No, they're not contenders in that sense. No, but with draft picks in the future, yes, but that means nothing in the here and now. The draft picks, second round, first round, that means nothing this year. They're going to be a competitive team. They might, and I have a feeling they're going to be fun to watch. They still have Nick Claxton, Seth Curry, Royce O'Neal, Patty Mills, and they still have Ben Simmons. Now, in all seriousness, they're going to be a competitive team with the 4 players they picked up, and they already have those other guys, those 4 players I mentioned, some other guys that are in the mix there. But when we talk about Ben Simmons, okay. In truth, the Nets would be better going forward if they just removed Ben Simmons from the playing picture and sent him home. Whatever the case may be, whatever they got to say, just get it done and get it done so that the team can move forward. Keeping him away from the new team will be most beneficial going forward. But no, the Nets will not be contenders this year. Next year, it will be a problem going forward in the East. Now, talking about the East, since we are talking about the Eastern Conference, wish I had a glass of water, maybe some coffee here. Relax. Talk about what's happening in the Eastern Conference. What are the standings? I'll tell you the standings. Hold on, everybody. The standings are the Boston Celtics, number 1. Milwaukee Bucks, right behind them. Only a half game out. Number 2. Philadelphia 76ers, Cleveland Cavaliers, Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks are at number 6, Miami Heat, number 7, Atlanta Hawks at number 8, Washington Wizards at number 9, Toronto Raptors, well, they are at number 10. And then you have the Chicago Bulls at 11, so this Pat Beverly thing makes no sense. Indiana Pacers, Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets, and the Detroit Pistons bringing up the rear. Yes, that's Detroit, bringing up the rear in more ways than one. Now, I am a Boston Celtics fan. I love the Celtics. I'm a Bill Russell fan, JoJo White, John Havlicek, Dave Cowens, even when they used to go up against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he was with the Milwaukee Bucks. What is with this Milwaukee Bucks Boston thing? It's been going on for a period of time, and it's been more competitive than than Boston and Philadelphia, and Boston versus the Knicks. In actuality, the Bucks have proven very competitive. They've beaten the Celtics on several occasions in various decades. Yes, they made it happen. And I think I should say that because the road to the finals is going through Milwaukee and this guy here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans everywhere, it is time once again to fear the deer. And even though Giannis has hurt his right wrist, they are the team to beat. Now, if they were smart, they could rest him for the final 2 months. That's right, and still make the playoffs. And really, that's all they need to do. You see, with a healthy Giannis, a healthy Chris Middleton, a healthy Brook Lopez, and a healthy Jrue Holiday, and the addition of Jay Crowder, they are big, they are strong, they are aggressive, and they are mean. See, no one in the East would be able to handle that package. They would be too big for Cleveland. They can match the skills of the Boston Celtics and wear them down on defense. They would out-tough the toughness of Miami and run roughshod over them offensively. Now, I didn't mention Atlanta, Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, the Philadelphia 76ers, Toronto Raptors, or Washington Wizards on purpose as far as being a competitive foe for the Milwaukee Bucks. Those teams are just paper tigers. You see, in professional wrestling, they would be called jobbers. They would be there just to lose. Sorry, Chicago. Sorry, a lot of you fans that really care, passionate about your team. Some of these franchises don't care as much as you do. So these teams are there only to lose, and that includes Philadelphia. Now, Sylvester Stone of Sly and the Family Stone, and I was going to say Sylvester Stallone, but no, Sylvester Stone, or called Sly Stone, of the Sly and the Family Stone, once said, Everybody is a star. And that's true. All of you are stars. And including all the players that I mentioned on these teams. Even though I said they would be jobless, they're there to lose. That's mostly due to the franchise and their organization, and the coaching, the way all that's set up. Okay? But not all the stars, not all the stars on these teams are winners. And there you have it. The teams that we're looking out at are the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee being the team is probably, if they're healthy, it's going to be there at the end. So, what I'm telling the rest of you sports fans out there is don't worry. Don't worry about your team. And there's nothing you can do about that. Because if your team is not going to, in that one of those four, don't worry about that so badly. Worry about you. Okay? Not only being a star, but a winner. That's the most important thing. You making the money you need. You being the father that you need to be. You being the mother that you need to be. You being the brother that you need to be. You being the friend, neighbor, and stand-up person that you need to be. You being a winner. And that's going to start with prayer. Prayer will get you through. That's right. Prayer will get you through. It'll make you stronger, bigger, stronger, faster, and longer than you ever thought you could be. I guarantee it. As George Foreman would say, I guarantee it. Okay. With that, ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans everywhere, it is adios. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Ciao. Vaya con Dios. And sorry to say, but goodbye, everybody. Have a good day. Let's put on a little music too. Here we go.